Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are here playing some Norse. Sweden. Norse is allowing us to slave raid, and it's very heavily texturing the run. This is one of the main ideas here, and in particular, this allows us to deposit pops where we want, and we have been working on that. As we've been working on it, this has happened. So, a big thing is that HRE, a country took over most of Denmark, which we need for moral reasons, and with that, they put a bunch of the locations in the HRE, which made it so we had to, in order to start taking chunks of it, really upset the HRE. And that's kind of where we left off last episode. Get the egg VTuber set up yet? Not yet, not yet. And now, we kind of have this big coalition brewing. But before it pops, before all these guys join, we have to declare another war. That's kind of where we left off, is this us against the world type of thing, where the world is Europe, because we're Eurocentric, and we want to annex Norway here, in particular, but also subjugate Denmark. If we subjugate Denmark, we get all their claims for their former cores, and so that's going to give us claims on kind of the rest of this region, and so that is the plan. We also do have dreams of getting in on these guys to some extent, so this is going to be the war we declare. Kind of just jumping right into it. Plotsk. Let's actually take a look at what the war goal is. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. Let's see where our army is. Our army's up here. We don't have too big a navy. Looks like maybe they fixed the bug that was present for some time. We can no longer push capital economy. We can try and push quantity, but it won't go very far. With this gentleman, because he's oh, yeah, just kidding, it'll go really far. 0.47, baby. It's still bugged. So yeah, let's do the claims on province, and I think we will need to do a combination of... I don't think we want to co-belligerate any of these other guys. We will need to do a combination of conscripts and... There's our war. Conscripts and mercs. Or maybe not. Only 5k. 5k... I wonder if that's 5k levies. I think that this is the guy we want to be the heir. These are the... Yeah, this is our fleet that can actually fight. Is this against a galley? Oh no, not a galley. Okay. Let's get started with the levies. And let's not raise them here or here or here or here. We'll try and see if we can make this work with what we have. And then, if we can't, we will add mercs. And there we have a bunch of people joining the coalition. So this is exactly why we needed to start the war before unpause. So we have this. I think that we're going to try and improve relations out from underneath the very biggest people. And then maybe have to defend against a coalition war of sorts. Alright. We just want the navy that's not this guy and not this guy. All come here. And you can see the coalition grows. It will get bricked. So in theory, we could, it will get bricked when we do our thing, so in theory we could redeclare another war, but I think we're gonna chill after this war. Does that work properly? Are we in there? Did not seem to work properly. Try to embark. There we go. And did our air die? No. Gotta make sure these... Oh, the real pain of the HRE is having to click through all the buttons. And I have mixed feelings on kind of this state of affairs, where I'm inclined to think that the coalition actually makes a lot of sense and is kind of a good thing, but I really don't like that they added a whole bunch of locations to the HRE from Denmark. Like, I think that the Denmark situation should anger the Germans, but we could tax exempt. Oh, maybe we were supposed to... Maybe we're supposed to ask for large levies here. We've already requested additional taxes. We are passing this by all kind of means. Hey, Depth Guard, how's it going? Order new GPU so I can change my map textures slightly higher? Hell yeah, brother. That's what it's about. We are back on nobility stuff. I think that... Let's check how much we're getting from the nobles tax, because... Okay, we're getting a good amount. Don't want to throw that away. Just having a bit of a think here. Gonna look around. Do we need a bigger army? If we do, it makes a lot more sense to hire it now. We could hire up pretty big. Bohemia's got multiple tax. I guess I wish I could sort by technology, because I want to hire H2 units if possible. But I can't sort by that. There we go. Normandy. So we can hire up to 10k H2 units. Looks like maybe we should have left some guys behind to deal with Norway. Ugh. I mean, we can work up back over here. Let's see how big the Merc army that... Oh, they hired Merc boats. Okay. Let's do this, and then hire over here. Normandy was the guy. I don't think we want any age 1 units if we could just... Well, actually, the age 1 units I think are cheaper. 1342, so that's 60 a unit, and then this is 100 a unit. I think we'd rather just have mono man-at-arms. Well, actually, we don't have any cannons. Alright, this... I don't know if we get the combined arms bonus from this small amount of cav. Let's actually make it a little cheaper. Add a little bit of cav. It's still going to be very expensive. And then we will do this in case the war goes really long. But that should secure the war and make it pretty easy for us. You can see the coalition just massively growing here. I think Brandenburg's also one of the big guys, so we'll probably look to improve relations with them. We just don't want to fight. If we have to fight a bunch of little... Or it's diplomatically a little bit more efficient. I guess we're going to have to handle 2 fronts for a hot minute. Which is probably okay. It's like we merged up an army that we shouldn't have here. Or a couple. So we are trying to push maritime. So we will get that resolved. We probably... No, we didn't have an option. Alright, let's go. Just gonna wait for these guys. Look at everyone join. I think we're gonna try and chill out after this. These guys have been gotten. We will make him a vassal. We don't want to conquer and then release because we have this, and so that'll be released with him. I think that we will also... We force him to, yeah, revoke the core on that. We'll just get all this stuff. So we will eventually, in the future, have a claim here. We gotta do Eastern Europe run, right? Yeah, probably on this Sweden run, gonna focus on Eastern Europe, and then I'm deciding between Hungary and Novgorod. And then we'll also be playing Kiev, so... Got a few Eastern Europe things coming through kind of the pipeline here. Let's see. Or this is the plan. Plans often change, but you know what doesn't change? War. War never changes. Let's create a new unit. So this one can stay here, and we'll put the 10 on trying to grab more market access, or better maritime over here. And I think we'll sort by admin here. Admin helps with sieges. We're gonna be getting just a lot of notifications for a while, a hot minute if you will. Alright, we want to try and pick them while they're separated. We do have better tech. Can we march across here? No, we can't. Cool. I thought going through the Livonian Order is going to want to give us access. Let's do that. So we can focus more over here. What is this? This is +1. I think we're going to try and clear out the chaff, especially because those will be the big stacks, like 10k, 5k, this type of, Jesus Christ. Thank you for the resub. Let's take a look. We, of course, will not switch off of a theocracy. Scrand the Man, thank you for the resubscription. Most important sub is the first resub. Big true. Do you convert the provinces to Norse already? We have an insane conversion rate, so yeah. We have a really fast conversion rate because of the law. Which, as of now, is kind of like the main thing you have going for you. Is this with the 50 pop conversion speed. I think that actually we want to get off of mission on the high seas, though. Because we can't push naval anymore. What do we want? Probably mission of protection. Well, we aren't really utilizing it that well. Internal mission would help us to cap satisfaction in places. Our throttle's going to generally be the non-main pop, but maybe that's worth us trying to push a little bit further. The thing is I'm not sure we can do it without the tax exemption. Yeah, looks like we're probably not hitting that without the tax exemption, unless this... The fort defense modifiers and stuff are actually like good in multiplayer now. Alright, let's grab this guy. Do you plan to play Bohemia? I'm fascinated by Kingdom Come 1 and 2. I don't have a plan to play Bohemia right now. There's been virtually no requests for it. How long do you think it'll take to form Scandinavia? I don't know if it happens this episode. We gotta get on colonizing quite a bit more for it to happen, I think. I think that while this guy's around, we do allow attachments. Okay, so the other army does okay. This is with the mod that removes our ticks, so this is going to affect how the battles resolve. Is Minsk loyal? They are, so nothing's gonna happen there. Although not much we could do about it if they weren't. We are getting close to the end of the age. I think we'll go for the flesh this week. I don't think we have, I think we barely researched, Miltech. Yeah, we have men-at-arms researched. But we haven't, like, recruited any. Let's see. Thoughts on keeping it close to Canada today? Need some international hockey analysis? Oh man, I'm not the guy to ask for about hockey. I like, yeah, I don't follow hockey at all. Noticing this theocratic Sweden needs state atheism mod ASAP? What do you mean? You don't want to worship Odin? I think this guy's doing fine. Why do we have so much stab? What's the point here? I can't think of anything we wanted to take a stab hit over. Alright, well... we're gonna let the morale recover here. And then go for this. Looks like we have a mega stack of subjects, which is good. No cannons over here. Plan is going to be to full annex Norway. Cologne, I think, is one of the bigger ones. Lundberg and Brem are going to be kind of a little bit big. Let's up our spending here. We're actually a little bit afraid of that coalition, to be honest. At this point, I've just gotten so many notifications, it's hard not to be scared. Let's head back this way. And maybe we detach a unit just for the purposes of getting that in. I think that they have been, yeah, significantly reduced in the number of troops that they have, such that we probably can make this work. Who should we rival here, though? These guys are threatening, but boy do I not want to rival any of them. We'll rival Norway for now. Because that's gonna just kind of void itself. We should be able to full annex. Which means that a lot of what this comes down to is us colonizing. Can you form Rizespolita? I have no idea what that country is, so I don't know. Do you think just working up and not going for standing armies this patch is optimal? Yes. Is there any actual benefit of the Norse religion? There's a huge benefit. The benefit is souls. Slave raiding is one of the strongest mechanics in the entire game because pops are just so ubiquitously important. Slave raiding allows you to grab pops without their consent. Which you should never grab anyone without their consent. But in game, it's pretty good. Let's take a look. And it will allow us to poundlock Canal up this like region. We don't have 26,000k pops here normally. We don't have 34,000 here normally. A big portion of our pop graph looking insane is that we're certainly not getting growth in the Arctic. So that is kind of a big deal, and it does allow us to employ up in the Arctic because the slaves will get shuffled around. We could even take a look at the slave map mode. You can see just how many pops. This is excluding promotions. Wait, what? Bro, no way, like 18,000. There's 15,000. What? How do they promote up so fast, dog? Well, there's 10,000 Danes here, and let me tell you, they didn't start here. Yeah. It means the Polish Commonwealth? Yeah, maybe this is an idea for a run. Maybe we need to revisit Poland. This is fair. Can we split up? Like in two? I don't think we want to split in two yet. I think we want to take Riga as well. We're generating a lot of antagonism here. Yeah, we're gonna need more diplomats. Let's just give this guy the job of unsieging this. Where are you going, bud? I think he's chasing down the army. Is the slave building trading your slaves away? I have no idea why they promoted that fast. Like, that seems insane to me. Oh, we have convert slaves. I know why. Wow, we just get to instantly unslave them. It's just actually importing pops. So, we have the... I think we have the converts, forced religious unity law? Or wait. Where is it? our law regarding forced slave conversions. We force our slaves to convert. We can. This has like just like not worked in the past. It's just been bricked. We're forcing our slaves to convert, and at the same time, our conversion rate is turbo insane because we have a base rate of plus 50 instead of just the base 2. Or sorry, a flat rate of 50 rather than plus 2. So this means that we're just converting the slaves basically instantly. Let's actually delete the slave center here. I don't want to get any more pops here. When you raid for slaves, it has to go to a location that has a slave market. So any insight on when to integrate? I'm having difficulty deciding. You don't want to get too far behind the ball. So like eventually you just have to get it rolling and keep it rolling because you're going to get throttled later on. So Tavis, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Okay, so now we could probably split up. I think we'll have one army come down here. Actually, let's not split up like that. Let's rebalance and then split. Alright, well, whatever. And then I think we go for Smolensk and see what happens here. Still gonna be somewhat dependent on the mercs. This is cutting through nicely. We have to maybe think about what's gonna throttle us speed-wise too. It's 235 to start a colony there. Kind of expensive. Are we gonna want to take stuff off of Smolensk? I don't know if we will. These guys have cores. These guys have cores. We could return some of the cores. I guess taking the stuff down here maybe makes sense. Like this. But also, maybe we don't want Smolensk on the coalition. They're just an ally of Novgorod. They're not, like, actually super upset with us. They're not, like, outraged. I mean, they are because they're fighting us, but, you know. I think they're just converting fast. We've never played Theocracy, almost never had any slaves, unless I'd been at the war in the last few months. Yeah. Which, I'm not sure we actually want. I think we actually want more slaves than that. Gonna move these guys up this way. Let's unsiege this, actually. Oh, they were successful. Alright. Let's come back here. I think we're gonna take Riga because we want the market capital, because now funky things are happening. Let's take a look. Maritime's generating kind of okay. We are able to get proximity as a consequence. We wanted to start annexing over here. Alright. This guy is reasonably big. I'll improve relations with him. Starting with the people who are closest first. They're gonna have the most antag. Which, I guess in theory we should, like, if we wanted to micro our brains out, we would start with the people who are most close to leaving. And force them to leave first. Well, that won't decrease the size of it as fast as possible, but... Alright, colonization continues. This is us getting the war goal here. We get Oslo. So... let's just have this guy focus siege. I don't know if they're Haven't been paying close enough attention to Norway to know if they have some sort of unit up there. And also, it's not like we're on the verge of concluding this war, so... I think that'll work. Let's grab this. I think out of Smolensk, what we'll want is war reparations. And if they have any maps. We could also liberate some people, which is 0 antag. Wait, why does this cost antagonism? Alright, well, I don't know why you'd ever want to liberate someone then. I'm too Vicky 3 brained. In my head, that shouldn't cost antagonism. I don't know what you guys think about that, but... Polygamy is also associated with the Norse. Big nice. Are you considering playing Marathon? Like... the Greek city-state of Marathon? It's not playable. You mean just like playing non-stop? I thought about playing Dominion 6 this morning. It's been a while since I played, like, video games in my free time for fun. And recently I've been playing some Dominion 6. Maybe we... I'm thinking right now whether or not we want to continue with the Mercs. I'm thinking maybe we don't need them. But... I suppose just keeping another round of Mercs, just in case something goes sideways here. Another 24 months is probably not, like, optimal, but is just safer. If that makes sense. Also, let's take these cannons. And let's send them down here. I thought liberate was applying minus antagonism last I clicked it. If you take land while also liberating, you should net less antagonism. Oh, sorry, I don't have a brain. Or it's smooth as all hell. I forgot that I had put stuff in here. No, it just doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't think we want to take stuff off of Smolensk, so... This gives us, we'll get a claim on this later, I think, so... I think this might be something we look for. Don't necessarily have to enforce that big a peace deal on them, though. Let's just come down here and deal with that. And then I do think we are going to want stuff in the vicinity up here. I think we want a really dirty peace deal here where we take this and we take the capital and we take like we give them nothing and we take from them everything is kind of what I'm saying. We take like all the parts that are part of Scandinavia and maybe a little bit more, and then we take this to Novgorod. He means running 40 kilometers. I think the odds of me running 40 kilometers in the near future are extraordinarily low. I think that I'm not in any shape to do that. I mean, I have a shape, is what I mean. Yeah, it's round. Lib causing anti-exchange wasn't like that in EU4. No, I don't have eyes. This is my bad. Love me some Dominion 6. There's like no content for it. I think it's like such a sleeper like strategy game, but it's also just like one of the sweatiest strategy games in existence, right? So we'll take a little 600 or 800 bank. Like, in theory, if you wanted to micro your brains out, like, you could do so much more in wars in EU5, but I'm not that into microing our brains out here. Oh, this is giving us actually a very solid amount of antagonism with these Germans. Alright, let's go for it, though. I just want to be done with Norway. This will also give us Iceland. Unless they've annexed... Wait a second. Wait a second. We have to get the full annex, the full shaboodle. And then suddenly they don't like this. No, no. Okay. $21. It's only 86 though, so if we give them time, they'll probably be down for this. Let's do that. And this is also, incidentally, us occupying these guys is giving us tons of slaves. They're promoting up basically as soon as we get them, but you can see 4K here, 1K here. Really funneling pops into this region where we're going to build the Poundlock canals. I don't think we have enough dev yet, though, but eventually. Soon, 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 soon. Where's our other stack? Alright, it's up here. It's got enough food. We do gain control of Riga. We could subjugate them and annex them. I think we'll just take the market here, though. This kind of resolves issues. Like, these guys getting pulled into the Stockholm market's not exactly what we want. Do have to be a little bit concerned about Boho. Boho apparently has a coalition of their own. You meant the upcoming shooter from Bungie could be a maxi accessible social game? Oh, interesting. I'm not very good at FPSs. I mean, at that point, I think people would just be coming in to hang out, though. So, maybe that's fine. There's a bug allowing basically any non-Christian to have polygamy. Virtually all European countries were monogamous with very rare exceptions. Have you noticed any trading bug this patch? For some reason, automated trading decides not to take the most profitable trades. It's always not been, like, perfectly optimal. I'm not sure this is unique to this patch. What do we want from these guys? Oh, we definitely want maps. Were we... Okay. We were... Do they have vision on this? South Yemen. I guess. Looks like they've managed to meet their demise anyways. I think we have this in the bag, so we'll uncheck rehiring mercs. We could either wait or we could actually do it. So let's come... Oh, do they occupy this now? Well, then they should be willing to peace out, no? They just occupied it. They will be willing to peace out once that battle finishes. Alright. Allegedly. Go sell as a former subject. Do the slaves reflect on the cultures, map, demography? They are the cultures. They are the cultures, so we have a bunch of Danes dispersed throughout our nation. Oh, maybe it was us accepting Danes. Kalu, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Or this is part of it. Has capturing slaves been reworked? It still pulls them to the slave centers. Does making co-belligerent actually give discount? I'm not sure if it gives discount if it's, Hey, Kalu, thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated, my guy. The Prime sub. As far as I know, it still works, but it's based on, like, they go to wherever you have marketplace, or market centers, or slave markets, rather. So you can see the 3 locations we have slave markets have very large minority pop groups. And some of the other areas, like the Iron, where we've been expanding and pulling slaves as a consequence, also do have a decent amount of pop. Also some of these. So the expansion of the furs looks like pulled quite a bit up there. Put this on auto expand. What's this look like up here? Yeah, so if it has 0 market access, it's not going to benefit from market villages, which I think we're going to look to expand in a second, but... Okay. I think we're going to try to start sieging the capital here. Doesn't look like there's forts. Yeah, there's not forts. Just gonna start spreading everyone out. I'm not sure if we could carpet siege just yet. See, they will take war reparations. Something like this. They will be out. Don't actually want to take anything off of them. You're full occupied, bud. I guess Iceland's not yet. You can do this, and maybe they'll go do something more useful. You can also probably shift on up. Get ready for the point where we're just going to carpet siege. Something like that. Smolensk is getting occupied here. We want war reps and don't need maps. Take a little bit more money though, so we'll stay with it. Especially because these sieges are giving us pops. Glorious, glorious pops. We take around 10%, I think, of peasants that are unemployed. Does auto expand a mod? Yes. Do raided slaves still go to closed markets still? I'm not sure. Maybe. We just delete them. I've never just, like, closed them temporarily. We could maybe use some slaves in here, though. And then we know that we are going to want to produce tools out of here, so let's do that. Put it on auto expand. You don't have very much pops to begin with. Yeah. Let's actually just check. Do you have anything? You have 7k left still. We're just not seeing it? Alright. Fair enough. There's some pops down there. Let's raid them. Okay. Also, I think we have most of the better text that we can get. I guess rag paper is kind of okay. Not as important though, because we produce a lot of lumber. Possible government reforms. Let's go for this. Although if I recall correctly, we were having trouble finding useful gov reforms to slot. Yeah. What location is this in? Okay. From there? Brother, it's on the other side of the dotted line. Alright. Brother. We do need to take this Novgorod here. I think at this point, we'll move the cannons over to here. Take this guy, move him over here. Ah, it's all coming together. Is this guy willing to peace out yet? No, but he's close. Oh, maybe when this battle's over. I'm not sure if they care about subject battles. Looks like they don't. If they have an ongoing battle, they of course do care very much, but not subject battles, apparently. Making sure we have a general there. Actually, let's send him down this way. I mean, I haven't seen any units in forever. Who has it? Novgorod still has 5k. Where are they, bro? I guess we don't want to lose either of these sieges. Interesting. You can see more and more slaves based on the cultures. Today I learned Scandinavia is a tag. It is a tag. It's a nice one too. We do like the trade efficiency. Have you seen how messed up Viborg is? Building icons are out in the ocean. Just nice vibes, bro. Which Viborg? Which one? It'd be really funny if Sweden could take over the Tartar yoke. Looks like they imploded already. do this, but we might not take Smolensk. Of course, the siege we need to finish. Don't have it. Not sure how I feel about the bells noise being on every single fort you take. Not sure whether I like that or not. Our auto-expand is still queuing stuff up. That's what the iron's about, which is pulling slaves. So that's why these places have this with the new slave redistribution mechanics, which is really nice. Before, you'd have to shovel the slaves back and forth between two markets. Really, they did a whole lot for fixing slaves this patch. Okay, so that's Novgorod. I don't think they have, like, pops in the north, basically. There's not much point in us slave raiding this. Up there. So this is what we were looking at. Kind of, not too invasive. I mean, obviously invasive, but... I don't know how those guys flipped out from being our subject. They were our subject at one point. We do have to resolve the thing with these guys first, though. So let's split the army in two. Apparently they have a 5k stack that they're just hiding somewhere. Trying to play... Where's my 5k stack? They are hiding the salami, which we don't like. Let's split this in half. We have a bunch of feudal levies in here. Let's bring them in here. And we'll go resolve this Iceland issue ourselves, I guess. Because we do need to do that before the war ends. We get a full occupation on this guy, so slave maxing here. And our mercs are about to run out, but that of course is fine. It's called slave maxing, sweetie, look it up. We could also just completely try and cut them off from the northern coast. I don't know if this cuts them off entirely from colonization, but they might insist on being annoying. So this might be something we could do. Is there a battle? Must be a battle. You are full occupied. More money. Cool. Let's grab this. Okay. Don't necessarily even want to take slaves from like some of these locations. Mercs are done. So it's just levies from here. We should be able to do okay here. again, because we did make a big navy. Forgot to have these set on. Or I think maybe they automatically turn off. Okay, we still have 2 areas we're colonizing. Maybe we could take these couple locations for good measure. Or even, yeah, just all of it. Kind of inclined to leave Ocel alone. We've just generated so much antagonism. I don't want to pull some of these guys further south, like really Poland, Bohemia, Hungary. These are guys we do not want to pull off. I mean, pull in. Oh, is it Yaroslavl? The subjects that are just disloyal or where the units are? That would make sense. Why we know they have units, but we just haven't been able to see them. This guy can just leave, because I think we're going to disband the rest. Unless we have, like, 1 regular. Yeah. These are all levies. We'll send it back to Sweden. Are you done? No, you're not. There's a 7k stack up there. I don't think we're gonna choose violence at all. Do we want to get dev anywhere but in the capital? I think we liked dev in the capital. Dev here is also kind of nice because the pop's really high, but the pop of the capital is going to increase more as time goes on. How pushed towards aristocracy are we? So we pass this, we'll get +10 towards Aristo. I think we're into that. The expand forestry also can make a lot of sense if we have a bunch of money, which we kind of do. We can get additional taxes if we contain meritocracy. It looks like that's not really an issue, is it? Wait a second. Yeah, let's contain meritocracy for the additional taxes. Then do that. We're not making that push yet, but we will be soon, I suppose. Maybe after we push this Aristo as much as we can here. Why are they so obstinate, man? Maybe if we could take out this army. They are kind of the last holdout at this point. Norway does not want to get annexed, which, you know. Looking good today, Generalist? Aw, thank you. New haircut? No new haircut. That joke, though. Generalist, I see you're creating jobs for all the poor unemployed in Russia. We do be doing that. That's one way to put what we're doing. And we just like convert them instantly. It's actually just importing pops. I mean, that's a strong argument for theocracy. The fact that it pairs really nicely with the slave rating. Just like, normally pops is like a huge issue for Sweden. And we're like, just vibes only. We're developing upland too. How's that going? Really quite a bit of dev. So if we urbanize, or when we urbanize another thing, it should probably be one of these. It's maybe not the best province to dev. Thing is, this province is huge. Let's actually swap over. We also do want this to get up to 20 dev. So for Padlock Canal. Oh, we were hosting our parliaments here. That's right, to get the dev up. That was an intentional part of the strategy. See what we look like with libraries. We have slave centers there, so we know we're gonna have a good amount of pops there. We have a good amount of pops here and here. So this will help with the spread of meritocracy. We would love to embrace meritocracy and research the text, like, before the next age. I'm not sure if that's reasonable, but this would min-max kind of the amount that we get. This place is kind of a little bit further out, so we'll also build a uni out there. And down here too. Mainly because these guys are spaced out, so if they get it, and then they can start spreading the institution as well. The heat map mode's kind of not really showing meritocracy very well. But this is currently how it's going. Bueller. God, he really doesn't want to get annexed, man. We might even have to go and take this. Yeah, I'm not sure what the solution is. We currently are pushing this. So we could take a peek here. We know that we do have laws that we kind of want to change, like mission on the high seas we want to get off of. Let's take a peek. I don't want to exempt them. God, we're so close. I don't think we want to take a 12 stab hit. And a bad law. Alright, here's to just rolling a good event, I guess. Sometimes you don't need to be skilled, you can just be handsome and lucky. I believe that was Confucius on the quote. If you take the Novgorod province, their economy usually won't support colonizing. I think I just want to take just the single location though. Novgorod is Orthodox and Russian. Will that piss off Boho and Hungary? Yeah, but it's not a lot of antagonism. But yeah, this is a little bit of a concern. I formed Barat as VJ thanks to your VJ guide. I'm still traditional eco. Do you think a swap to cap eco is worth it? So, I think in general, cap eco is worth it. At a certain point, you can get enough prod efficiency that you don't really... The prod efficiency isn't really that good anymore. And at that point, trad economy becomes better, which is like really a little bit of whiplash. And you might have, in the really, really high pop areas like China and India, it's easier to hit that point. I think as Europe, it's really hard to hit it. Is slave raiding ethical? Well, that's what Odin told me. How do you deal with the pop satisfaction of all the slave raiders? Are you tolerating it all? Tolerance? We have zero tolerance. And I'm not talking about the lube brand. I'm talking about the fact that we are just converting everyone really, really, really fast. There we go. How do you deal with the pop satisfaction? Yeah, it's just converting them all. If they didn't want to get converted, they shouldn't have gotten captured. Yeah, basically. Say it like Aristotle. Say it with your chest. Aristotle and later the great philosopher Kanye West, except by great I mean not so great, held the position that slaves deserved to be slaves because they were slavish. And if they didn't want to be slaves, they would just end themselves. It's like, whoa, bro. It's called lake maxing, honey. Yeah, look it up. So we integrated Lubeck. We have another market to integrate in this. In Riga. And we will have one over here in Novgorod here as well. So that pushes us up to 80 Aristo. And I think we can start pushing cap economy now. Is there any reason you've been pushing quantity over quality? Quantity is just way better. Quantity is way better. We'll take a look at it in 1 sec. Bro, why do you hate this peace deal? You're full occupied. Is it because we have call for peace? They suddenly... I really want to annex Norway this war. That's the main idea. We full occupy literally all their subjects. Will it do anything? See if it changes once this gets... but yeah, so quantity versus quality, so right now, initiative is just kind of a trash stat. Army maintenance is really negative. It also increases your manpower demand, and military tactics is a decent modifier. But it's like, you start off with like base 2 or something like this, and it makes you take less damage, but, or it's like base 1, but there's a tech that everyone starts with that gives you another one, and like, it acts as like a divider for, you take 1 over, 1 plus military tactics, damage, so it reduces damage in a way that is, like an efficiency modifier, right? But war is about bringing as many stats to bear as possible, and possible frontage just allows you to bring more stats into a battle if you are overstacking the fronts, which you hit relatively early in the game. And so this means you just get to bring 10% more stats, and this is a really rare modifier. Basically, all the military modifiers are multiplicatively effective with each other, and just getting 10% more dudes rolling to do damage, because the damage is like, this unit rolls to do damage, and it does damage to another unit. So it's not the case that one unit is doing damage to all the other units, and having additional units on the front makes you take more damage. We do not take any extra damage with quantity. In fact, it takes longer for our units to die with quantity because they're more likely to roll onto one of the different units. So you just get to bring 10% more stats. And since there's only like one other source of vanilla frontage, this is actually just like 10% more until you get there. I think there's a bug because call for peace. I've had the same issue where I had a peace deal with someone, but held out too long. Once they got the call for peace, they wouldn't accept the same peace deal as before. Bro. This guy's into that, but... this is so stupid. Current war enthusiasm is -50. Is that it? Is just... enthusiasm. I guess then we full occupy them, because I think full occupying overrides that. Alright. Do you happen to know colonies get assigned ownership to provinces when a province gets 100% for 2 countries? I think it matters how many colonists you have sent, so it's when you have hit the number that you need to hit. The thing is it's not just like one single number. Yeah, okay, there we go. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Ugh. Let's, do diplomatic endeavors here. Take a little bit less antag. Norway is gone. Everyone's big pissed. I think we're gonna do this. We could make them abandon the colonial claims. I think we're just gonna take maps of the Urals, but... and this stuff. We will keep the Patriarch. Getting tolerance of heathens. This is like such an unbalanced thing. We shouldn't get tolerance for heathens there, I think. And now, we need to decide how we want to distribute all the land. Alright. What is this? Finland, don't want to release them. Lubeck, don't want to release them. Norway, don't maybe want to release Norway. Orishek, I think we're... yeah, let's release Orishek. Oh, he has 2 provinces now. What a world, what a world. Alright. We'll give him the rest of this. And the rest of the other one. For now. And then I just think it's releasing OPMs. Is there any chance we want to do anything other than that? Well, actually, up here, the issue is are these guys going to make their own market? I think they do. But we don't like that. Do we have anyone who's got... no, we don't. Looking for someone with a really good trait that gives development. This... oh, yeah, that is a clergyman. Yep, this is what we wanted. So we'll actually feed these guys another province. Can we... improve relations with them, just in case we want to. The market access is too low there, but here we'll just hold on to this because the market access is so trash. The population's really low. It's not that big a deal for us to just hold on to that, even though it's not cord, and we will eventually figure something else out for that. But okay. Do that. Let's put a woman in charge. We need some good, strong female leadership. Just kidding. And then I'm just kidding in terms of we don't actually have competent women because we've assigned them leaders in all the places. Okay, but the clergy can't lead the armies or become heirs, so we'll do some of that. I think we'll give this guy the rest of his province. Give this guy the rest of his province. I think we'll make like a 2-province minor up here. It's just 3 locations. I think we'll just random roll someone. And then the last one we can release Norway, right? And that's gonna give them this location and some landlocked stuff. And they'll have cores. We don't own anything we want to give up. So we'll release them as a vassal there. And all is well. And then since we have multiple subject types, not gonna be very likely to run into loyalty issues for some time. Do not make them abandon claims before taking the coast. Brits and others will colonize. Okay. Okay, war champ. Us levies can take a decade off. Yeah, this is the war. The war to end all wars, basically. Where's the big navy? Where'd we put you guys? Alright, we can move you back here. Alright. Still trying to get these bigger guys out of the coalition. I don't think we want to tangle randomly with Muscovy, so let's improve relations with them as well. Holland's kind of big. And then, what was this guy doing other than Diplo endeavors? Not sure what the cabinet action was doing. This guy's deving up. Is there any chance we have a crown character? No, we don't. I think in theory, the peasants is less negatively effective for you. Or has less of a negative effect. Now we're also making tons of money. I wonder how much of this is from subjects. Oh, dude, I hate this bug so much, where it doesn't full tax the people. You're like, I paid for automation. I don't think we need to stab. Could pay more for the cost court. I think that's fine. Alright. But I think we would not mind. We don't want to... We're trying to go / stay serfdom. Maybe actually going serfdom first makes more sense. We already pushed it. We've already pushed it like as much as we can. Oh no, we haven't. Raw materials output is like less valuable for us though, because we have so much lumber. I think we'll do cap economy first. I wish you could set a desired satisfaction with each state and tax them accordingly. Me too, because I would, for the nobles and the peasants, set it at like 55%. Is Copenhagen connected with the capital roads? No. We haven't annexed Copenhagen, though. But we have plans of holding on to this subject so that we can make Copenhagen a naval governor. By intentionally not connecting it with roads. So we're going the other way with that one, Captain. Oh, they're just rejoining. Yeah, okay, fair. Oh, that's gonna be so many clicks for us. Just lay it on us, dude. Can we just do escape? Yeah. So... bit of a big thing, but we're not gonna deck on those guys. How do we want to spend our money? We do have auto expands kind of set up. Let's actually just take a look. Okay, what's the most profitable stuff in the Stockholm market? Actual, it's just charcoal kiln. Crazy. Okay, well. Trying to think which ones of these we maybe don't want to urbanize. I think Varnum we're very unlikely to urbanize. The reason being is it's not on a river and it's on a lake, and we are gaining access to the lake through another means, so we will not want to pound lock Canal there. And by being on a lake, it can build out bog iron smelters, and so if we keep it rural, it will be nice on that front. And so with that idea, let's grab a market village too while we're at it. And then it's on auto expand. Is there other things we want to leave rural that are closer to the capital? Maybe the wool? I think the wool's already urbanized. Maybe the marble. Not sure how the horses are doing. Build a bailiff here too, considering we're going to have iron here. The bailiff actually would do decent. It's just not very good right now is the thing. Yeah, maybe we leave it off right now. How much iron are we producing? I imagine that's something we have quite a bit of. It's quite a lot, and a little bit of exports. Because these guys are going to get to build bog iron smelters as well. Just thinking of adding bailiffs to these. It's probably just not good enough for bailiffs. We don't have enough money, like, for this type of thing. Why not max out legitimacy? There's no penalty to... So this is devotion, right? The devotion penalty is 5 estate sat. And we would rather have never having to pay for the slider than 5 estate sat, basically, is the idea. I don't think we're doing enough colonizing for that to make sense at this juncture, or enough exploring. Is that the Azores finish? Alright. And this is so we have the potential to spawn the colony next thing. It is connected, at least without subjects. Yeah, but we are intentionally being fiddly with the subjects so that it is not connected. We can't gain prestige anyways. That's another thing, is we keep spiking an event whenever we get under 20 devotion, and we will continue to spike that event. So that's another cost of us not paying for the sliders. So that does make it harder for us to swap to an empire, but we can't swap to an empire right now anyway, so. Is any of this not in the Arctic, actually? The colonies? No, not really. Because if any of the colonies were not in the Arctic, I think what we would do is we would colonize them because that would help us with pop growth effectively, but since it is in the Arctic, womp womp. Alright. I think we want to up our dip spending. We just want the diplomats here. And I think since we're spending so much... Yeah, I was about to say, I think we want to do improved reputation, but it looks like we're already doing that. And encouraging cap economy. Alright, yeah. Do we form Europa? I'm working on it. First we have to form Italy. Update the dev bonus from road connected to capital, like road connected to proximity source. I think it should just be, like, capital or port. It's so miserable for, like, an island nation. It makes Majapahit, like... It's just so bad for Majapahit, because you get, like, you only get, like, 60% of the dev you would otherwise. It's just, like, real, just god-awful. And, like, I don't think, I think they're doing it to prevent the abuse where you would just make road segments that weren't connected all the way back to the capital, but, like, I don't think that that's, like... I think that, the negative effect it has on countries that are, like, Majapahit is, like, more important than, the exploit, you know what I mean? So... Just building out some road segments, dudes. Did they fix the literacy stuff with conversion? They have. Day 221 of No Italy, not like this. The game's not even been out 221 days. Why do we have so much... I feel like there's a reason why I did this. And I don't know what the reason is, and it's bothering me. Let's just grab a bunch of courtiers here. They're free. Another nice thing about not paying for the devotion is we will repeatedly roll this event, which just gives us plus 20 and it nukes our prestige. Okay, let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, it's dev time. There was one time, back in high school, in the long time before the good times or the bad times or something like this, but back in high school, I had this teacher who was, like, yelling at the class, because, you know, we were behind on task and, like, etc. And, okay, here. These guys apparently will go back into port if they have that. And she was like, do you guys have any idea what time it is? And I was like, game time! And she got so mad, because I was just like a football meathead. It's game time! Because one of the, like, chants we do, like, in football or whatever is like, what time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! I just couldn't resist. She got so upset. She failed me. She failed me with a 59.9%. Which, be a lot cooler if she didn't. And then I went to summer school for that class, and it was history, so I knew it backwards and forwards. I just didn't do any of the homework. And they took like an assessment test, and I got like 95 or 98 on the assessment. They're like, you don't have to do summer school, they just gave me the credit. But she hated my guts. Yeah, she really didn't like me. Locked in. That's right. I guess next stage is probably when we use this. Yeah, I don't think we're into these. So let's. How close are we to embracing? God, what am I doing in the UI here? Like halfway there. We'll get there soon. We kind of do want the military tactics at some point. Oh wait, that's wrong tech tree. Chancery is like a weird building, man. This entry pose kind of okay. I think the thing about entry pose is like your subjects bricking your markets by making another market when you don't want them to is like super annoying, and entry pose makes that more common slightly. Speaking of, I think we're going to offer market access preference to this guy, which makes him less likely to make his own market because he has no access in Novgorod. But we maybe got to think about, like, maybe there's a market back here that makes sense. Location size really kind of crushes market access, and the locations in the far north are really big. Is still having capital in North Africa better at Iberian with the changes to the non-capital roads? So probably not, and it has less to do with that and more to do with the reason that you want this was for the tech tree, and you don't get the tech tree anymore. You no longer get the free tech tree when you swap, so I'm inclined to think that the way you approach it now is you really, really want one of these harbors that's 100%. Which, like, feels so bad, because, like, it feels like the video kind of somewhat got invalidated, but, like, I think this is actually where you want the capital to steal, which, like, I don't even mention. Because getting the 100% is really important now. Actually, it's probably this. It's probably Cadiz. And then you could put, like, a regional governor here. And then, like, a naval governor here or something. I don't know. But Sueda kind of could still be attractive, but the idea is you're going to have, like, a governor in Mali and a governor over here. So you need, like, a very Africa-centric Spain run. Otherwise, it's, yeah, probably Sueda. You could though just like have like the RP capital's like not that awful now to like put it in Toledo or something. How did the capital tech tree change? So it used to be that if you moved to a different continent, you would get that continent's tech tree, and now you don't. And so the big reason why when you were playing Spain, you wanted the capital in Sueda, like the biggest reason, was because if you move it to Sueda, which that's what it's called if you take it from these guys, because it's dynamic naming. Like, this is Tangiers, or Tangier. If you have the capital here, you get slave raiding, and slave raiding was just super, super powerful, and now you can't acquire slave raiding by moving the capital to Africa anymore, which I kind of think that makes sense, but I think the fact that some people get locked off of slave raiding is like, it feels really arbitrary. I'm not sure I like it. I think we maybe annex this dude. Because we are going to want to make a contiguous road. So that we can make a governor. We could also just annex Scania. Let's annex Scania because we want to put a naval governor in there. Just kidding. Alright, we should have a lot of improved relations that we can cancel now that they're at plus 200. As well. And then let's hire another 10 of these guys as well. So we're going to try and look and see if we have a reasonable heir that we can put on this vote. Because we, of course, everyone knows that when you swap theocracy, you swap to a naval regime, as is just as Odin commands. And as a consequence, whoever we put in charge of that boat will become the next ruler of Sweden. 55. That's so slow. Alright, let's annex this guy instead. Can we... I don't think we have the cooldown for improving cultural relations. Okay, we have to decide now then. Okay. Unfortunate. Unfortunate we don't get to prep that as much as we would like. Prosperity is pretty good compromise though. And dip is something we're interested in. But, can't say no to architectural visionary, can ya? Can ya? Oh! Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Did anyone ever complain they nerfed that anything they nerfed was broken? Do they realize they are making the game less fun by nerfing stuff like that? Like, it's a single player game. If I want a slave raid, let me slave raid. That's kind of, to some extent, what... I feel like every time I discover something like new and interesting and I make a video about it, it just gets nerfed. And it's like, from the perspective of someone who makes videos about the game, it's like, kind of disheartening and like frustrating that like such a high density of my videos have been like invalidated within like 2 weeks. Like Theocracy got uber bopped. Theocracy's still like okay, but like a big cool thing about Theocracy, okay, was the fact that you got a bunch of scaling pop modifiers that scaled with per 1k. And, like, I released a video about it, and then, like, 2 weeks later it's nerfed, or, like, a week and a half later it's nerfed. And this possible clerics used to scale with per 1k pops. So this used to give you the same thing that Spiritualist gives. So this is, I mean, it was incredibly strong, and, like, okay, nerfing it makes sense, but, like, also just, like, just buff, like, Monarchy, man. Not generalist being a televangelist over the architect trait, brother. I go absolutely feral for the architect trait. Dude, this is so good. It's so good. We're just like we're getting like plus 50% dev. Like our base rate is this plus this. So our base rate is like 40 or 0.004. And then architecture, it's just like plus 50% dev. It's so good. How can you not be like, oh, like nothing, no other response is remotely as appropriate. Come on now. Feels bad not using our additional governor, actually, here. I'm just too... My brain's not right for this. Is this really how this is gonna work, man? So these guys do go home correctly. But they don't want to patrol... This guy is set to patrol this province. They don't want to patrol the province if it's under 95, which means that we can't reduce the segment to the absolute floor if they're doing that. Like, we want 100 maritime presence. I think this means we're gonna have to micro it, buddies. It's not what anyone wanted, but it's perhaps what we deserve. Trade is mucho exciting. It's like... The prosperity one's pretty good too, but not as good. How are we doing on the pops? We have 20k in a bunch of spots. Do we have Pound Lock? I think we have Pound Lock Canal unlocked, so... Yeah, just lacking the dev to make it happen. Jill's just beta, we'll see the actual game in 5 to 6 years. Well, I mean... That's one way to look at it. I feel like that's like a running gag more so than like... Yeah. Yeah, we don't have Danish... I think out-cultured super hard. Our cultural influence is 120. And cultural influence, or cultural tradition here is like 120, so we don't actually have like an advantage of them for annexing them. That's why we can't annex Scandinavia right now. We're annexing these boys though. Oh no wait, we don't want to do that. Well, they're Sami. Just kidding. God. We gotta flip everyone Swedish. Or we can accept Sami, but I don't think we want to do that. So it looks like this guy we had already flipped for this purpose, so we can annex this guy. Alright, we can embrace meritocracy as well. Kind of a big stab hit. Let's burn that bridge when we get to it. Okay, they're not loyal. Fair enough. Force culture of these guys. Now, I think we will just accept Norwegian, so we don't need to do that with any of the Norwegians. We also could have just converted that ourselves. It's probably low enough pop that that would have been fine. Yeah, that's how we should have handled it, actually. Yeah. I've got 600 hours, doesn't owe me anything at this point. Yeah, I mean, like... I get, like, what people are coming from with this stuff, but... Also, like, I think that, like, a good faith interpretation of, like, the way Paradox games are gonna be is, like... You're not wrong that it's gonna improve a lot over the course of 6 years, but I think that, like, just, like, the vibe is just a little bit, like, too dismissive for me. Making patrolling less clunky is probably top 5 priority for what I hope they address. It's not so bad without the winters, because you just park navies there, and, okay, you can just, like, deal with it, but, like, with the navies, oh, it's so bad. Do we have fishing boat? Is that levy? Why do we have a fishing boat, dog? Oh my god. Oh. Holy shit, I accidentally deleted the Navy. I meant to upgrade the ships. What month is it? Is that worth reloading over? It's kind of a lot of boats. 9. This is June. We won't reload over that. I feel so bad though. Okay. I mean, this guy is the ruler, so us giving him a big navy will give us more crown power. Oh, so pain. I think we'll also go for 3 Carracks. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Alright, we could technically let this tick like a little bit more. We store up the spread. So why is it so expensive? We don't have maxed out innovation, I guess. Alright, microing this might be a little bit better, but we're just gonna accept it. Because I don't want to accidentally break research. That's like the worst thing that can happen, and trying to micro it and then like not paying attention is the easiest way to do that. We'll go for the trade efficiency. Monthly literacy, power projection. By the grace of God. Let's go for this. Stat investment cost is kind of okay too. We'll see where we're at. That's 10 things. We of course get a discount because it's from the previous age, and this is why you want to try and it doesn't matter how many ages back it is. So ideally in age 2 you want to do all of your age 1 research, because you get the same discount in age 2 that you will in age 3. But your age 2 tech, you don't get a discount in age 2, but you will in age 3. Anyone know if you lose Swedish flavor if you form Scandinavia? There was a thing in the patch for not doing it. I haven't put much thought into leader traits because of outside of how Admiral would, it's kind of hard to raise a leader with useful traits. You can do it a little bit with republics or when you make a subject, intentionally sending away the people with the highest stats that don't have traits that you want, but, yeah. Modern Swedish government has also struggled to accept Sami. Not like this. Not like when we do something vaguely racist, except probably not vaguely. I think they should make free subjects a prosperity debuff. Work your peasants lazy, don't get work. I've had. I mean, the prosperity system probably just, like, a lot of stuff just needs the rework, in my opinion, and that's okay. You have a lot of interconnected systems. I don't like the very mild tweaking all the time. Or like a lot of things I think need. I thought about making a video on this, but like I think they need to like have a more cohesive like long-term like plan. Although maybe that's also always what 1.1 was supposed to be, is just a bunch of tweaks and then they have a long-term plan and this type of thing. Accidentally deleting Navy IRLs would be so crazy. Just accidentally send them to the bottom of the ships. You know, when I was in Stockholm, one of the big like sites to see there, I didn't go to see it, was a museum where they accidentally deleted that boat. And it's a museum of this one ship, and it was like the pride and joy of the fleet. And what it was a boat where the ruler of Sweden at the time, like, he saw the ship. They presented the ship to him, and he's like, "That's cool and all, but put more cannons on it." And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna put more cannons on it." And then, you know, they came back and had way more cannons, and he's like, "That's cool and all, put more cannons on it." And they were like, I mean, this is a lot of cannons. And he's like, pride and joy of the Swedish fleet, put more cannons on it. And they're like, all right, we'll put more cannons on it. And so they put more cannons on it. And they come back to him and he's like, you know what this boat could use? And they're like, please don't say it. And he's like, more cannons. And then they put more cannons on it. And then he's like, all right, this is an acceptable amount of cannons. And so then they sent it out of the port, and then it sunk in the port because it had too many cannons. Yeah, and it's a museum of that ship where they've since brought it back up from the surface of the I was about to say ocean, but really didn't even make it out of port, so there is that. Yeah. Seems like you can convert fishing boats to cogs for 1 to 2 ducats. That's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. The integrity deletion of the entire flip. Yeah. Shout out to the Swedish Navy. These guys rival us? I mean, I think we're gonna go after these guys eventually. The Vasa is its name, IRC. Yeah, I probably should have gone to see it. It probably would have been cool. You've been to that museum? It's actually an amazing experience. Totally embarrassing for Sweden. Yeah, more cannons. The man was just 2 years too early, or 200 years too early. I'd rather have things buffed to be on the same level instead of nerfed down. And like, at the same time, it's like not like the things that I don't know. I've been kind of frustrated with the direction of like some of the like balance changes. I think overall the changes are net positive, but there's a lot of things that I've found frustrating. Like, they have sped the economy up so much. This is like, did it slow down a little too? I'm pretty sure that Geneva, like 100 years in, would not be 2,000 value. That overall, everything's just a lot faster as a result of the estate changes. And I think that the overall, what should be done with the economy was slowing it down. And so the random, like, jump on the accelerator, I think, was no good. Like, I think losing money to lack of control was, like, a very small, like, simulation issue. And so, like, that's not something I would have changed. Not because, like, I think it shouldn't be changed, but just, like, the way the triaging of, like, what to change first does, like, seems not ideal. And then, like, if the economy's already so fast, like, just jump-starting it super, like, you know, like, having a macro perspective on, like, okay, the economy's too fast, so fixes that we focus on right now will be ones that slow down the economy. It's like, okay, that makes sense. The turning money into, like, free roads for everyone is, like, not it. Like, look how much roads. Of course not, like, that they build roads is good, but, like, I think it's now just a lot of estates building it. I think we're going naval infrastructure. Yeah, we're almost all the way. So we have to pass this one. Communal values is going to be fine. I don't think we have... Let's go for this. I don't think we're going to click that, so unfortunately we're not going to get cheap taxes, but... Hello from Thailand? Hello, hello. Spanish have destroyed the navy by misclicks multiple times. Womp womp. I mean, Mongolia kind of did it too. Had Serbia not formed the Serbian Empire? You hate to see it. Yeah, I think we're just generally in chill mode. I'm not sure we want to catch all these hands. There's a lot of hands to catch. not gaining that quickly. Alright. We can enforce religion on one person. I don't even think enforcing religion is that important though, because we convert so unbelievably fast. I'm gonna go crazy with that. Like, the fact that the patrol, like, they won't patrol to 100 feels bad. Where's this guy supposed to be, even? Is he supposed to be there? I guess. Oh, maybe he's supposed to be there. He's supposed to be minding the fleet here, actually. I think we'll park this in the other port. Yeah. Decent proximity though here we've got going on. We don't even have anything up there yet. We will add some more navy too. Only time I build RGOs anymore is when I want to get an RGO tech, otherwise the estates keep you topped off kind of nice. It is kind of nice, like, in terms of click reduction. I mean, I think that auto-expand should be in the base game, and that really reduces the amount of clicks you need to take, by a lot. We actually have a gob of tons of money, so we should maybe do something with that. But, like, it just, like... I still think, like, it's not an ideal change. Because the economy was already too fast. I can't wait till we get cap economy going. The margins on this stuff's not very good. I think we could also build a sawmill here. And then we have the naval supplies there. Probably do die maker too. What do we have producing here? Because this is big. We have books, and that paper is going to be an okay one too. Let's maybe set paper to auto-expand. And then let's have a little bit of a look-see at how much we're getting per trade. I think like 0.75 ducats a trade. That's not that bad. And also, this is going to create pop promotions. So this is going to be like better than it looks, and it's going to give market access. So let's add a couple of these. And then let's take a look at the roads. Roads are going to be important for dev. But I think eventually we do want to get a road heading on up this way. I'm not super close to a parliament, so let's maybe... Because we need to loop around a road all the way up around here at, like, long term. Actually, we're deving in here right now. Let's try and make sure we get the road bonus then. And then let's also try and make sure that we get market village bonus as well. Because we're committing a resource to this. You know, makes sense. Let's kind of do this. Let's actually develop here until we get those things, these roads finished. And then market villages. I'm not 100% sure if the clay is one we want to urbanize. Oh, looks like we already had this idea. Fiber crops we maybe leave. And then let's urbanize this. Ooh, masonry is expensive. Wait, masonry is really expensive. We just added all this stuff. Okay. I don't have eyes. I didn't check. No, it's fine there. Okay. Alright, the more inputs you have, and also it has to do with the proportionality of the inputs, the sharper you need to decrease the price. So there's 2 inputs versus 3 inputs. So I think that we do want more masonry though. So on auto expand for the masonry, why don't we do the same thing here? Add a couple more masons, and then we have some stone up here. What's the market access look like up here? So, how bad is it? It's kind of bad. These 3 provinces are kind of okay though. And then we're doing it in places that have stone. It's less important that we... Oh, but that's in the Oslo market. Yikes. That's probably okay for our subjects, for us to do that. I think that's on auto expansion, but we maybe want to start auto expanding with clay as an input. Maybe it's not going to cut it to be doing the other ones. We might keep this rural anyways. Because I do think clay is a little bit more premium than it used to be because it goes into salt. You need the salt for the trade. Why would they slow down the economy just to get lower amount, lower the amount that the states get? What could they do to slow down the economy? Well, I mean, like, the thing is I don't even think it's like... I think they need to do other stuff with their money. Like, and not just only this stuff. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Do we have bridges that we haven't built yet? Let's mass build these. Put them in the subjects too. Right. Finnmark. Really low pops up there. 7K for like several provinces. I wonder why they're all immigrating into there. Oh. Yeah, it's got one of these. I've noticed the automation will happily continue to tax the estates that are rebelling. Well, this is maybe fine, considering they might be rebelling for reasons other than the estate satisfaction. Like, it's probably from separatism more than anything else. Almost done with these 2 colonies. Making 60. Yeah, we put this on auto-expand because we want slaves to get pulled there. So that it gets to 5k because it has a good harbor. Let's do the same over here. And over here. Or wait, this we can't urbanize right now. We just lack the money. We lack the cheddar. Is the Rise of the Turks broken? I'm the Ottomans and no other Beyliks exist, and it's making me wait till 1500 to complete it. Well, it's good. You, like, want to have it. Not patrolling to 100 is agonizing. I feel like it was probably a Band-Aid fix so they didn't have boats going in and out of ports every month. Yeah, I mean, like... so they used to have the boats, like, instead of patrolling entire sea provinces, they used to have them patrol individual locations, and when you set patrol, boats would just scatter. Like ants or cockroaches. But, like, I think that's probably bad for performance in this type of thing, and so, like, after they reworked that, that's probably kind of like how they did it. I don't know, microing this, like, winter business is gonna be just, like, a nightmare, or we just, like, have to be like, okay, we'll just accept having 95% instead. Maybe pay for a little stab. Probably shouldn't, though. In theory, like, you should hover your, like, inflation around whatever percent is needed to roll the parliament. Probably. Someone made a post about inflation the other day that they thought it was OP to just, like, max the slider or something. I don't know about that, but money early on is better than money later, though, is like a thing. So, like, the analysis is actually probably pretty complicated. Say is relatively big. But we're starting to get away from this. Monthly literacy. I like to be able to set desired stability, legitimacy, growth too. Well, legitimacy is linear, but stab, yeah. I found that if I assign an admiral to sit, I'd love to be able to just have it such that, like, it just floats me around 25 stab. I think that that's kind of like a number I really like. Where you could do, you avoid, or probably 20 stab, actually. Something like that. Auto-expand, no auto-upgrades buildings is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that, like, people that weren't, like, coming from Victoria 3 or people coming from EU 4, like, they just ignore the economy after a certain point, I feel like. Or they just, like, come in and they, like, grab a building and then they just, like, shift-click it. Shift-click was, like, immensely important. But, like, yeah. Auto-expand mod fixed the UI for the beta, that's hype. Yeah, like, this was the #1 thing that I wanted, like, on release, is the auto-expand. I'm so glad that someone made a mod for it, and then they stopped maintaining it, but then someone forked it. Alright, so that colony is finished. Power projection is going to help us colonize and finish colonies even faster. I guess we do this. We'll just finish the colonies that are kind of close. The other colony's about to finish too. So we'll just do that. And I think we gotta start getting a move on towards this stuff. Why can't we annex some of these cats? Ooh, Oslo, we definitely want to prioritize annexing, actually. So we want control of the market capital. Because some of our subjects are probably getting pulled to Sweden when they shouldn't be. Spamming Masons early game is super valuable. I can't wait for Paradox to nerf it. No, not like this. Religious map mode check? Oh, just instant conversions. Yeah. I always make Soderala a town for naval proximity, as it's next to the copper mine. Also been experimenting kind of focused Sweden. So far it seems good. So is this next to this? Soderella. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's livestock, or it's this, so building over it's pretty good. I think we wanted to upgrade one of these. Well, I mean, there's not much value up there. This is probably actually better. Go with this one, though. Oh, that's in the wrong market. Oh, we didn't need to expand out all that masonry, maybe. So urbanizing what we want to do with our money. Actually, we do want to get slave market here. Let's put it down. Wait, but what market is this? This is good enough. On the discount. We will want a pound lock canal here and here for the full, all the way through. Asagis, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Is clay masonry worse than stone masonry? No, they're the same. It's just now, there's a lot more demand for salt. And salt is one of the very few things that is not demanding lumber, and it in fact demands clay. So you can be more clay pressured than you were before. In fact, you can only build these salt collectors on the coast or in the desert, so this is going to make like a lot of sense as a location for a salt collector because it is on the coast and it will benefit from being in a province with clay. I think we can do some of that. Naval Prox feels kind of is still free. Kind of feels like you could just abuse it and fill with land. Well, Naval Prox should feel better, like per like the intended design from the simulation perspective. But I think let's put the light ships up here. But, like, I don't think that the value should give you additional governors. Or there should be, like, a land equivalent. Are you optimistic with the future of EU5? I am. I'm just, like... Recently I've been a little bit frustrated, which is wild to me. Thank you, Agent Shalder, thank you for the Prime subscription. Much appreciated. Are you excited for the silver mine that appears near Stockholm? I am. That will be very nice. It's in, like, Sala, right? Or this is what someone was telling us, so we made sure to build a market village there early so that it will get more dev via the presence of literacy of burgers. But, like, the two changes that I wanted to see absolute most was proximity reworked, and proximity got reworked. And then, I also really wanted to see slavery tweaked so that plantations actually work, and that has apparently been fixed. I haven't observed it yet, but it was in the patch notes. But there's also, like, several things that I think that, like... I don't think they're batting 100% with all changes that I like. And there's, like, a decent density of changes I don't like. You know what I mean? And so, I guess it's winter time, so we have to go into the port, except for... I also think it takes fewer boats to maintain the maritime presence, so it actually just, like... It feels... Like, they made it so it takes the same amount of boats if you, like, send your boats in the winter, which maybe makes some sense or something like this, but... like, winter affecting the boats makes sense. It's just, you have to... You're having to click a lot more than I think you should. Do you not prefer traditional economy for the government reform that affects labor buildings? Which reform are we talking about? Am I missing something? There's one that gives RGO output, but it's not tied to trad economy. Sounds like it would be an H3 thing. Mercenary registration's an interesting one. It's kind of small on the modifier. There's like so many modifiers that are like 20%. Is it this one? Not excited about this because you already get so much iron output, it effectively devalues it. I don't think you mean a privilege we have access to right now. Bank ledger system's actually good though. We're almost getting capital economy bonus. Do you know the formula for proximity speed? It's 1 over 1 plus x, where x is your proximity speed modifier. I've seen the video about inflation. It was pretty interesting. I'm not confident myself to fix my economy before if it backfires. I haven't watched it. I think. So here's the thing: is when you take money. So if you need to fix your budget in the short term, just like doing this is actually really nice. And there's a theoretical like equilibrium where the stuff you can build is currently profitable enough that you will get a bigger return than you will incur extra costs before you can like pay back the inflation. Also, hovering like 3 inflation allows you to roll to parliament and is probably theoretically correct, but it requires some amount of micro, right? But I think that, like, long-term, it's, like, negative ROI. If you're floating money, minting is really, really bad. You do not want to mint and then float. Because the money that you are taking from the minting is going to be, more expensive to decrease the inflation later. Unless you do something weird to, like, negatively affect your eco or something like this, to make paying it back cheaper or something. Stone, copper, iron specifically. Oh yeah, the thing is, like, the iron modifier's, like, value just gets diluted out really hard. You have a 75% output here, and then a 66, I think, output here. And then I think the next stage you get, like, 100%. So yeah, like, iron's good, but iron's good because you get all this stuff. Is it the final age gets a fat, yeah, one? 50%, yeah. Wow, 50%. Yeah. Losing 2 or 3 procs from the tiles of the fleet ignored is maddening. Yeah, I mean, that's why we park the fleets by hand. He said inflation is open. I said until you want to build a city or a road with 100 inflation. Or he said it's OP until you want to build. Yeah, I mean, but like, it affects buildings too. Building cost is affected by inflation. No, am I going crazy? Yeah, and I think the thing that you pay the most expense for is the buildings, like, overall. It's just like inflation doesn't like increase your sliders, and it doesn't increase your like upkeep or something like this, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like, the thumbnail said he did math. I assume if someone's doing math that I haven't done, they're probably right and I'm probably wrong. So, are you using mods? Is the list available? I am using mods. The list is not available, but maybe let's just exit out to the main menu and just kind of show them off real quick. Just slightly disruptive. Well, actually, yeah, we've been asked a couple times, so let's just show the mods. Having a few low interest loans to proc the parliament seems okay. Well, you don't want loans because the effect on crown power, but you can float some amount. Like, the parliament's really good. We're using localization, specialization, QOL, auto expand, the fork, because it stopped getting updated, and then we're using faster universalis. Once we get over 1 million ducats, we'll turn on this gold display tweak, which is not available in the Steam workshop. Someone just made it on the Discord. And what that does is it shows more decimals for the money, which otherwise it just shows 1 million, just 1 M. You have mod list somewhere? Yeah, we just covered that. When the line of succession extinct, the country died, still occupied in Mesoamerica. Weird. So is the meta using only using mercs instead of regulars? Mercs are much cheaper at the moment. Yeah, merc is like 5% the cost. I don't think it's only mercs instead of regulars, but I think you dramatically prefer... can we walk these guys back here? No, we can't. Where are they? I guess we're kind of okay with them and move back. We lost track of those guys, though. I think that, yeah, you primarily want to lean into mercs now at this point. In H4, you have the reduce inflation cabinet action. Yeah, I mean, I look at this as just additional income. But merc lives don't matter. Nope. And you can also, when you merc up, just pay, like, the maintenance for regular armies is expensive. We're paying 3 ducats a month. For 3 units. Not to mention, building maintenance, the most expensive building maintenance things are the armories. So... is army maintenance not affected by inflation? No, it's like, it's... I think that none of your slider stuff is, like, affected by inflation. In that it's only, like, expenditure stuff, but, like, every expenditure thing is, like, affected by inflation, I believe. It feels silly that this costs $250. It's probably not worth it yet. we even have another city? We have Riga. Making that a naval governor seems super derp, though, considering how much procs we are getting there. Thank you, you're welcome. The game should model toll roads IMO. They played a part in mechanics, already simulated control peasant enfranchisement, local power. Toll roads would be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, but like with the inflation thing, like just math is like king always, and like or in terms of like trying to figure out what's going on, and I haven't done the math for it. Oh no, we didn't want to do that. I wanted to annex him, son of a bitch. Now he's gonna take forever to annex. All right, well, why can't we only annex the one guy? Oh, we've just expanded so fast. First world problems. Runaway inflation, but the people are paid uninflated wages. I don't necessarily hate it. You would just get super clapped if it worked the other way. These guys are threatening. Wow. The other guy's not even threatening anymore. Papal states. What? You get punted, my friend? Alright. So currently kind of a big coalition. Still way to get down. I wonder if we could deck on someone like Morocco and that makes sense to do. I also hate that you wall in port, you sustain damage. Or armies within your own territory get like damaged by stuff. I feel like that doesn't make much sense. Alright, so we can get a couple more Age 1 techs here before this age is over. I think that we will eventually want that stab cost. And estate enrichment. So we'll grab those. We haven't urbanized up here. I'm looking for the wrong map mode here. I want to urbanize that. This'll... Luella, like, there's very, very little food demand here in this province. Let's see if we can take a look at it, right? And so the province stockpile is probably giving us insane pop growth right now. But the province stockpile is 1k. And, is producing plus 66 within there. So we have this population growth, but this is with 0, because it's Arctic, 0, we have available arable land. Look. Large food storage in the province is 0.12. Food storage kind of buys you like flat growth as far as I understand. So, what we're going to do is we're going to max out the granaries over there. And I think we're going to want to do that over here as well. But we want to get this place urbanized instead. At the same time, we will get a decent amount of... proximity up here, but the food storage, that's with 1k storage, right? For the entire province, it has 1k. Each granary is going to give us plus 200, so each one of these is going to give us like 0.03%. So we're going to be able to like double it. Hey Poplop, how's it going? Armories also create demand, though. Yes, this is true. The expense is less than the expense is, like, it's not as bad as it looks. 100%. All the vassals becoming disloyal is the worst mechanic of the game. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that the texture of it, how it feels like a light switch, could be improved. Because it feels like a light switch. That's just like a feel type of thing. But maybe I should just be better at the game and more handsome and stuff. We're going to swap this guy over to innovative. So we can do a really big innovative push right now. With the parliament. Well, we are pushing. Is it natural pushing towards? Yeah, it's natural pushing towards this. We can click this. It's not that big a deal. We actually kind of like the artisan guilds. So, do we want to pass this for the 5% research? I think we do. We probably could declare a war, and that war would make sense. But the people we really want to expand into are coalition and stuff. I guess the Livonian Order is not. We also could just, like, chill, though. We could continue to chill. I think I like continuing to chill here. Oh, we actually have claims on this guy anyways. Oh, it's not very good claims. No, I think we'll continue to chill. Yeah, can you not just dry dock and port the ships? Nope. Is a great video going over inflation? Yeah, we were just talking about this. Inflation doesn't matter that much, the tooltip lies. Many of us come from EU4 where inflation matters as much, it doesn't matter in EU5. I don't know if I agree, but I haven't done math on it. I think a large portion of your expenditures is buildings. But yeah, oh, I hate this. But like it doesn't matter for like these costs here. It doesn't matter for your balance costs, but the point of your balance is to like acquire a margin and then use the margin to spend on stuff, and for the spending on stuff it matters. Like it increases the price of buildings. Does it increase the price of mercs? I don't know this. Increases the price of mercs. Mercs right now are better than regulars, just overall. I don't know. It's an interesting idea, though. Like, I think that it's, like, more interesting from a timing perspective, where it's, like, 50 ducats now is worth more than 50 ducats later, and loans are really bad. So, if you spend 50 ducats, can you outstrip the additional costs? I think it's also really good if your margins are super thin, right? Because if you get to double, triple, quadruple the size of your margin, that's, like, a pretty big, significant thing. The thing is, our margins aren't thin here. Our margin in terms of, like, we have twice as much income as expenses. So when we like, max out this slider, we only get 50% more income. And that will be better now, but it'll make everything cost more over time that we, like, spend ducats on. I think that the idea of, like, floating 3%, though, like, always, makes a lot of sense from the perspective of being able to roll the parliament, because the parliament is really good. But that requires a little bit of tedious micro, because I think that you don't want to go over 3% inflation, but I haven't taken a close look at it, and if he's done a bunch of math, then he's done a bunch of math. Oh my god. Well, we were maybe gonna click some buttons. This is import too. Yeah, I don't know. This is like Omega, not fun. Terms of how the mechanics work. And like feeling like we have to shuffle these guys in and out. Maybe we just concede defeat and just say, hey, we're going to patrol with them on one C node and they'll just keep it at 95%. Protected ports gives you minus 5% attrition, which covers the winter attrition. Oh. We actually don't have like a port here. Port there, port everywhere. Well, McDonald had a port. I think we're going to put masonry on the inland provinces. The idea of the inland provinces is the coastal provinces can do salt. And then Riga. So we don't see too much stone. There's stone in Estonia. I guess we'll add a mason. It's not our... Yeah, try and resolve this a little bit. Was this North Sweden, Scandinavia? Yeah. You need a protected harbor though. Okay, protected harbor makes sense. I take it all back. We're kind of more okay with this. How have you converted so many provinces to Norse already? All is possible when you have the good god on your side. We're talking about Odin. You have a better option for air than this guy. Yeah, we do. It's so nice just being able to constant have perma uptime on architectural visionary. Everything now in beta. When can you hire better ship mercs? Because I never see anything but cogs. I don't know what drives that. Maybe it's just completely bugged. I don't know, like the merc discounts did not apply at all. I feel like I was the only one before release that used mercs. Or like, you encounter the UI and then you're like, nope, never mind, just kidding. Didn't mean it. We can city. Oh, none of this is city. I think it's 20 dev. How do we get down here? See, the thing is, nothing here. There's no pound lock canals here. That makes sense. Wild game is just always trash, right? So, could increase our pop growth a bit if we get this ready to make granaries. See, once we're here, we're starting to get to the frigid north. Let's do this. Someone else had suggested, which, because it connects to the copper. Floating a bit of money though, but like also like it's really wasteful if you float money. So like you have to be. I think the like major argument for intentionally taking inflation is you get to spend it much more efficiently early on because buildings are worth so much more early on. But buildings start to be worth a lot less. Right? If the idea is you can support a way bigger standing army or something like this, you definitely can, like, in theory, but, like, I think you get throttled by manpower first. Inflation should be good if you're in large debt and you want to pay it off. Yeah, I think if you're in large debt, you've taken a wrong turn somewhere, but yeah, that makes sense. Roads finished, swap dev province. You're so true, bestie. So... yeah. Which, we want this for a pound lock, specifically. And 0.001 or 0.0115 is pretty solid. Architectural visionary making up like 30% of that? 25? Mercs don't replenish? Yeah, but you don't have to pay them much when they've lost guys. You just hire more mercs. And you consolidate them. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but, like... To just watch the video, I don't think he did a lot of math. So much as pointed out that inflation is less bad than loans. Yeah, loans are god-awful. Yeah. I would agree with that. If that's the central thesis, 100%. I think in general, yeah, I mean... I'm not a huge fan of taking inflation. Beyond, like, I would have to do the math on it, but I suspect that it's theoretically correct to have inflation always be a... someone in the Reddit thread said that 3% is the threshold where you could roll the parliament. You probably want to keep it at 3% always. I also would have to see how the math stacks on building discount modifiers, because... you spend a lot of stuff on, or how the inflation modifier stack with building discount and merc discount modifiers, because if you have 0 modifiers, paying 3% more is not that bad, but if you have minus 90% discount on mercs, and then you have to pay 3% more on the mercs, that's increasing your cost by 30%. Like, that's not a small thing for 3% inflation, right? And so it depends how these modifiers stack, if they're multiplicative or additive, which I haven't taken a look at. So, like, I haven't, like, looked at the math, but, like, if the math is additive, and you already got some discount modifiers, you know, it's gonna be a thing. Reddit went in the files and claimed 1% inflation or 1 loan. Not sure about that, though. Someone on Reddit said 3%. Damn it. When will we learn what Reddit really means? I guess we could park these in Stockholm, actually, because I have a protected harbor right now. Wow. Normally you don't get that. You really don't roll that event. We lost our architectural visionary. Okay, I think temporarily we will have this guy as the guy to succeed us, and we will get back to recruiting. You darn tootin'. Freyr is the god of Friday. It's like, we like pop growth more than reading. We could go pop growth instead of reading. With slave rating, that seems like not as good, though. Especially early on. I think that, what am I looking for? I think that early on, literacy and research speed modifiers are stronger than they are later on. Just said the maths had to be made. My point stands though. Inflation tooltip lies at EU5 and only affects some parts. Yeah, it doesn't affect everything. Like, it doesn't affect, for the most part, the balance stuff, I think. The stuff that's in the balance budget. Okay. Wait, if we have a protected harbor, does that help us out when we're in the sea zone? God, I feel like I'm microing my brains out and going crazy over these fleets. We're just waiting for the event to fire twice, and then we're going to do 2 kind of salvos of this, and our main idea here is that we're just looking. We're cruising. Looking for another guy who is architectural visionary. Found him. Unfortunately, we can't marry anyone as a theocracy, so this is the downside. The downside is no forever ever ever you don't get crown characters, but you know, if we always have an architectural visionary like in the pocket though, we probably just should risk him to get the Biscum. Probably worth. We're gonna get that event again. Like, until he rolls another trait, it's probably worth just putting him in the army for the 25% crown power, because we were at 20% crown power, now we're at 23. It's probably solid enough. Uplands isn't building anything yet. Probably do paper pretty well. Let's do that. And then places that don't have good inputs can do books. It's not like we have lead. Yeah, this place still needs to finish. Do we know when the patch is coming out? Before the end of February, I think, is the only thing that I had heard in a specific manner. Shouldn't we city the island between Stockholm and Finland? What's the idea? City or town? Why do we want to city it? I assume you mean, like, create a slave market so that we can pull slaves there. Oh, we have Diplo that we could use. Asked to improve cultural opinion, we'll choose Scania, which has Denmark. So Danish is now super cheap for us. God, we really can't annex anyone, man. Let's do some of that. I think we misclicked with this guy, right? They annexed someone else. Scotland, what's our... Who's giving us a claim on Scotland? Orkney Island? Alright, we're not decking into France, but... Oh, what is this even? Eventually we want to push this. Serfdom. I want to take the stab hit though. Should be pretty clear cut math when inflation is worth it. My gut says in certain cases in the early game when you don't run into efficient minting. Well, it depends, like, like, what it does to your margin, too. Like, right now, if we maxed out minting, it would double our margin. Things have changed a little bit here, right? Because we get, like, plus 50 for minting, so it doubles our income. But the thing is for every ducat, like, or for the ducats we're taking now, it's going to cost us more later. EU5 has the most toxic Reddit. Yeah, I feel bad for, like, the devs. I think they, like, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm also, like, frustrated, so, like, I get it, but, like, or I'm frustrated with some things, so I kind of, like, get it, but... Oh, we were integrating and now we're not. Okay. Let's do this. I'm sure the mathematical formula, but assuming it's optimal to be a minimum 3% at all times, slowly rising enough. When you get the parliament issue resolved, you stay at 3%. Yeah. As a non-Catholic, you need the extra research as they get liturgical language. Adds 0.1 or more. I forgot our liturgical language is still Latin. We could swap it to Arabic. We would just need to get it. Downside of loans in the estate satisfaction debuff reduces max tax when you need it. Oh, I didn't even... for me, like, the crown power debuff's enough. I didn't even realize there was also an estate sat debuff. Wasn't there supposed to be some auto return to port in winter? Yeah, but this is when you're using the patrol. If you use the patrol, the issue is that, if you're using the patrol, they only patrol to 95%, and then they just idle. Other than that, god damn it, dude. So, there is it, but you have to, like, if we do this, this ship will go to repair and we'll let this decay below 100. Which is just kind of, yeah, the feature's there, but it doesn't, like, it doesn't fix the problem unless you just want to say, I'm never gonna have max maritime presence. There was bound to a certain logic, biases on how army regarding being one of the few to learn mercs on release. There was bound to lead to certain logic biases. Yeah, I mean, like, I was using mercs, like, I tried to use mercs because, like, I wanted to understand them better, and, like, they just felt really bad before release, but, like, a big part of that was the UI sucked super hard. Truly feral for dev bonuses, basically. The wiki says conditions for balance the budget as at least greater than equal, number of loans greater than 1, inflation greater than 1%. So yeah, in theory we should try and get this above 1%. The thing is, like, when I do that, I often just, like, shit the bed and forget about it. And let it get way too high. Like, you don't want 3, 4, 5% type thing. I don't think. But again, I haven't done the math. I think that, like, you very often will exhaust your super good opportunities for profitable buildings such that it's not good to do inflation. And also, if you sit on cash, like, eating inflation is, like, bad. Right? Because, like, you could have just not... If that makes sense. Like, the more you're... It's about a timeliness thing, I think. And so, like, the more you're sitting on cash, the worse that that gets. Alright, so... Let's make a protected harbor up here. Does protected harbors... Oh, this affects the sea zone? Okay, this isn't so bad. This means we could just park it. Wow, just like a hard requirement, I guess. This guy is the heir. It would increase weight if you have at least 10 loans and also more than 5% inflation. Interesting. I wonder if the increased weight is worth it. I would really need to see how the math stacks for some of these modifiers. Because if it's stacking additively with your discount modifiers, you don't like that. It's stacking additively with discount modifiers is real bad for you. That's no bueno. Damn it, I accidentally punted our successor. God. Also, just how quickly people die when they're at sea is like... I think maybe an issue. Alright, do we have another? I wish you could sort by architectural visionary, but you can't. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is just the way to play it, to be honest. Like, dev is so important, and you just don't have the prosperity sources you used to. Like, what's our satisfaction? Like, our satisfaction's, like, maxed out. We have, like, everything we can for prosperity, but we're, like, at 71% instead of close to cap because we don't have free subjects anymore, which is probably okay, but it makes every other source of dev more valuable. It's tied to minting, I think. I meant that if your market is flooded with gold, silver, your money should go down in the market. Like, your actual ducats should just go down. So, we should be able to get way more proximity up here, though. Okay. Does this have a protected harbor? Probably not if it doesn't have a wharf. Yeah. Okay. That is way less painful with that insight that it applies to the sea zone. I think we will upgrade this, even though masonry is expensive, because I don't think we're necessarily collapsing the price of masonry in Riga anytime soon. And we want to get the sea zone better. Azores have already been claimed. I think... We can't colonize there. What is this? Rebellion against Sweden. Novgorod, are you okay? I think that that's a 25% war score one, though. Yeah. Alright, well. I guess we will be doing the things. I think that we want to start building a lot of market villages, to be honest, and I'm not super excited about trying to figure out where exactly we want market villages versus urbanization and stuff. Okay, though. Sanctuary is probably okay.